Now the fun begins. Bridget.
Stop! You violated the law.
Welcome back to another episode of the Gamecast, your weekly go-to podcast for all things Xbox and Xbox Game Pass, including news, rumors, and conversations around them video games, because guess what? They are damn cool. New episodes of the show usually drop each and every Friday morning on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and all other major podcast services, so be sure to subscribe to them on there. But we are throwing out this little bonus episode because, naturally, 2 days after we record, talking about the supposed specs of the quote-unquote Project Scarlet, we got the official announcement. Which is wild. Just kind of starting off, we got the official announcement from Xbox that we now know the name of the next-gen Xbox, at least the premium model, it looks like. The one that will be pushed the most, I would guess, their premier console. Xbox Series X. And along with that, we got a view of its brand new controller. We also got confirmation it's coming holiday 2020, and on top of that, we got a look at its first real, I guess, outside of Halo Infinite, the real look at the first exclusive outside of Halo Infinite, Hellblade 2 Senua's Saga, follow-up to the critically acclaimed Hellblade 1 from Ninja 3. So, just kind of kicking it off here, I got Adam on the call here with me. Adam, initial thoughts here before I kind of, jump into the all the info blast that we got here. What do you think of the name? What do you think of the look of the box? And, are you excited, really, about, we're finally seeing it? How, me personally, I was totally caught off guard. Was not expecting to get this reveal at the Game Awards. This is completely bucking every trend out there for gaming marketing right now, that now with so many digital blasts for promos and marketing like State of Play, Inside Xbox, Nintendo Direct, where you put your content front and center, it's you're owning the message on everything, own the day type of thing. Microsoft went in and said, kind of fuck that. We're going balls to the walls and we're overtaking this event really we're taking everybody off guard with this. So what do you think about, just kind of from the surface thoughts, what do you think on, Xbox Series X here?
I'll give my first impressions. When I first heard the spot starting, I'm like, this is the narrator from Everything. I don't know if you've heard of this game where you kind of like you inhabit the different creatures and objects and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to find his name, but I'm like, oh, is this some kind of Everything sequel that they're dropping? Like an announcement for. I'm like, maybe it's the Dreams announcement, because those games are kind of in a similar vein.
Mm-hmm.
But I was completely thrown off when it was, I think it's Alan Watts.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least they're, I don't know if the voice actor is the same as the philosopher that is like speaking. So,
Mm-hmm.
But whatever. I'm like completely thrown off. I wasn't even expecting them to drop the next generation of Xbox in this event.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, most of that stuff seems to come in each company's like platform expo type stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then the name, I'm lukewarm about Series X, about the appellation for this. What I'm assuming is like the family of this generation, because we talked about how there's going to be Lockhart and what's the other one? Anaconda. Yep, that's right. So Series X, I don't know. I feel like they could have picked a name that's a little easier to say, the whole thing. Xbox Series X is just so much sibilance. But that aside, I like the form factor. The way it looks is just very tidy, and you know exactly what it's supposed to do. This is just a cube that plays games. You can see where the disc slot is. You can see the button.
I'm kind of torn on it because one, it fits the messaging that they've been giving for the past, 3 years or so, whenever it's been, hey, they're basically taking the PC approach. We don't care where you play our games, how you play our games. It could be on the entry-level console, it could be on the Xbox One X, it could be on your mobile phone with Project xCloud. We just want you in our ecosystem, and we want you to our content can scale to whatever you want it to. We just want you in our ecosystem, very similar to PC gaming, where you can play on whatever. It's all scalable. So this really, it's kind of twofold for me, where I like the form factor. It's very much PC gaming oriented. I mean, it looks like a mini ATX tower, kind of like a case for a mini ATX almost.
Yeah, that's
or
what I was
even
thinking.
at most a mid tower, like, so it's very PC-ish, but part of me also looks at it as kind of like, that reminds me of like the generic dollar store like game system that you see there for $10, and it's like, play these
Yeah.
games like
1,000 games in one.
Yeah, exactly.
Plug it into your TV with RCA cables.
Exactly. But at the same time, the look is growing on me. Yeah, I mean, just like you, man. I was completely taken off guard whenever the promo started. At first, I thought it was possibly Death Stranding DLC because of the way that the textures were like popping in. It looked like it was scanning the environment more. I didn't notice this after watching it for the second time. I noticed that as the scan was going on, the textures were improving. It was like like popping in, but at first the scanning looked very similar to aspects of Death Stranding, and the aesthetic of it, the like gloomy, like rocky cliff sides, like it looked very Death Stranding. So I'm like, oh shit, Death Stranding DLC. But then obviously when you see a car drive by and then,
Master Chief,
I'm like, well, no, that is not it. So
yeah,
it really did take me off guard. It still boggles my mind. I kept saying this to my fiance last night. I'm like, I'm so sorry, but you're gonna have to deal with this tonight. But because I'm just baffled that they announced or revealed, I guess, officially revealed, outside of the, kind of little tiny sneak peek advert behind the scenes thing we got at E3 last year. But it just boggles my mind that we actually, it was the first time I was legitimately surprised by this because of like a console reveal. Because anytime in the past couple generations, it's been, hey, we're having this event, come here to see what the future of Xbox looks like. Come see what the future of PlayStation, Nintendo, etc. looks like, where it's a pre-baked thing that gives the media a chance to be available and different things like that they build this event around, where, Xbox really came out of nowhere and just blindsided you, like steel chair WWF style. Like,
yeah,
I mean, it was crazy. I honestly was legitimately surprised. So let me I'm gonna kind of run through here. This is the blast coming from Xbox itself. So this is by Phil Spencer, and the tagline they're going with is "Power Your Dreams." And this, like I said, Xbox Series X, and we'll kind of dive into the what we think of the name and different things like that. So for 18 years and 3 console generations, the Xbox community has shown us the power both games and fun can have on all of us. As we enter a new generation of gaming, we see a future where you're instantly absorbed in your games, where worlds are even more lifelike, immersive, responsive, and surprising, and where you are at the center of your gaming experience. With the new Xbox Series X, we will realize that vision. Xbox Series X will be our fastest, most powerful console ever, and set a new bar for performance, speed, and compatibility, allowing you to bring your gaming legacy, thousands of games from 3 generations and more, forward with you. Its industrial design enables us to deliver 4 times the processing power of Xbox One X in the most quiet and efficient way, something that is critically important in delivering truly immersive gameplay. We also designed Xbox Series X to support both vertical and horizontal orientation, which that was one thing that kind of popped into the back of my mind whenever I saw this. I'm like, that's awesome. Me personally, I'm excited to put that next to my monitor or my, 4K TV. Like, it'll look nice on an entertainment center, but then I'm like, fuck, am I going to have room on my entertainment center to put that up on the side? I'm so used to, storing my consoles inside, but that's nice to hear. It's bold and unique, very much like our fans around the world and the team of collaborators and innovators who built it. The name Xbox is an expression of our deep history in gaming, our team's unrelenting passion, and our commitment to both our fans and the future of gaming at Microsoft. It also signifies our belief that a gaming console should be for just that, gaming. Alongside Xbox Series X, we also unveiled the new Xbox wireless controller. Its size and shape have been refined to accommodate an even wider range of people, and it also features a new share button to make capturing screenshots and game clips simple, and an advanced D-pad derived from the Xbox Elite Series 2 wireless controller. The new Xbox wireless controller will be compatible with Xbox One and Windows 10 PC and will be included with every Xbox Series X. I actually didn't see that earlier, so that's interesting. The possibilities of what Xbox Series X enables developers to achieve was also brought to life this evening with the unveiling of Senua's Saga: Hellblade 2. A sequel to the award-winning Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice from world-renowned developers Ninja Theory, the game is being built to leverage the full power of Xbox Series X. The footage shared tonight was captured in-engine and reflects the power of Xbox Series X available to developers to deliver new universes, experiences, and games in ways you have never imagined. Games today deliver amazing visuals and tell an array of different and deep stories. That's why when we started work on Xbox Series X, it was vital we continue to advance state-of-the-art visual capabilities for developers, while also ensuring they could realize even greater feeling, emotion, and empathy in their games. With Xbox Series X, we will elevate the way games look, play, and feel. We will also remove the technical barriers faced in previous generations and enable developers to create more expansive, immersive gaming worlds that invite more players to play. From a technical standpoint, this will manifest as world-class visuals in 4K at 60 frames per second with possibility of up to 120 FPS, including support for variable refresh rate and 8K capabilities. Powered by our custom design processor leveraging the latest Zen 2 and next-gen RDNA architecture from our partners at AMD, Xbox Series X will deliver hardware-accelerated ray tracing and a new level of performance never seen before in a console. Additionally, our patented variable rate shading technology will allow developers to get even more out of the Xbox Series X GPU, and our next-generation SSD will virtually eliminate load times and bring players into the gaming worlds faster than ever before. We are minimizing latency by leveraging technology such as auto low latency mode and giving developers new functionality like dynamic latency input to make Xbox Series X the most responsible console ever. Xbox Series X is also designed for a future in the cloud, with unique capabilities built into the hardware and software to make it easy as possible to bring great games to both console and elsewhere. Xbox Series X will deliver a level of fidelity and immersion unlike anything that's been achieved in previous gaming console generations. One of the things we're most proud of with Xbox Series X is the promise we're delivering to our fans who have and continue to invest in Xbox. Thanks to backwards compatibility, you can expect your gaming legacy, thousands of your favorite games across 4 generations of gaming, all your Xbox One gaming accessories, and industry-leading services like Xbox Game Pass to be available when you power on your Xbox Series X in holiday 2020. Building on our compatibility promise, with Xbox Series X, we're also investing in consumer-friendly pathways to game ownership across generations. Leading the way with our first-party titles, including Halo Infinite in 2020, we're committed to ensuring that games from Xbox Game Studios support cross-generation entitlements, and that your achievements and game saves are shared across devices. As we branch out and extend gaming to more players around the world, console gaming will remain at the heart of Xbox offering. Game creators around the globe are already hard at work building content for Xbox Series X, and our 15 Xbox Game Studios are developing the largest and most creatively diverse lineup of Xbox exclusive games in our history. On behalf of Team Xbox, we're excited to enter the future of console gaming with you and can't wait to share more in 2020. Whew! That was a lot. Like I said, I'm just kind of shocked that this was out of nowhere. Like, I felt kind of, that's weird that all of this now is somehow starting to leak, like, almost where there's smoke, there's fire. Like, I felt like we probably were going to get an announcement, but I just am so baffled that they chose the Game Awards for that. I mean, and that's props to Jeff Keighley that he has built such an amazing show, an amazing gathering that is able to display gaming at its best, that Xbox is that confident that, this is the platform we want to go with. But, it's crazy, man. So, first off, just kind of scratching a little more deeper on the surface. What do you think of the controller?
The position of the handles, I don't know if that's going to be more comfortable for me or less. I'm leaning more towards less, but I mean, I probably won't know until I have it in my hands. When I think about a really comfy controller, I think of one that has like long enough handles on the sides that I can comfortably grip it. It seems like there's a lot more real estate just on the face of it that I'm not going to be using. So
Yeah.
I don't know. But I mean, it looks pretty close to the Xbox One controller, which I believe several episodes ago, I probably said that it was like one of my more favorite controllers.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a little bit, and I could see them, I'm sure iterating on this, obviously, like they did this gen with the Xbox One controller, adding a few more, functionality to it, plus making the Xbox Elite controller as well. But it's interesting to look at. I love the D-pad. D-pad sticks out. I love the octagonal like design of it that the Elite Series controller has. I really do like that. So that's the biggest thing that sticks out to me. The share button is awesome. I really like that because it is kind of cumbersome to capture footage and capture screenshots with Xbox right now, having to hit the guide button, then hit the share or screenshot or record button that will automatically pause your game. Some games, like if developers don't bake that into it, where this could just straight up looks like boom, you hit the button, just like PlayStation 4 has, where you could hit the button, the share button, boom, it captured your screenshot. What do you want to do with it now? So
yeah, I think Xbox is actually the last one to cross that finish line, because even the Switch Pro Cons have, or even the Joy-Cons actually have a screenshot button.
Yeah,
it's just kind of like click, you took a photo, you can check it out later. I don't think you can record clips on that though.
What do you think about the specs? I mean, basically, we talked about on this week's episode that's out right now on youtube.com/GamePassGamecast, along with any of the major podcast services that we are on. What do you think now that we basically confirmed the specs that we saw, and them going out and saying, hey, this is going to support what looks to be the base minimum of 4K 60, and they're saying it can also go up to 120 frames, and also support 8K, but if you ask me, confirming right out the gate, like, and it doesn't, from what I've looked around in different sources so far, they haven't really backed off that. It seems like 4K 60 is like, hey, this is the bar, like, this is the bar we're setting for our base. Like,
yeah,
that's pretty ballsy to come out and say, hey, 4K 60 is the base minimum, considering really, I mean, if you look at it, a lot of, like we said before, a lot of systems this generation were only, like, at times supporting 720. Like, it's kind of crazy that, I mean, and technology obviously has advanced since 2013, but, it's crazy to see that they're going balls to the walls with this, saying, yo, we're coming out the gate swinging. 4K 60 is the bare minimum, man. So
I think it's about time that they finally just buckled down and said, hey, we're going to build what is essentially a powerful PC with some dedicated hardware in there that's less general purpose and more specifically suited to gaming applications.
Yeah.
I guess they haven't come out with any prices yet, I don't think, but I'm guessing that, like, there's just a price parity now for components from, like, a pretty modern gaming PC, not top of the line by any means, but pretty modern, given the specs that we have, and what they can afford to put in a console that has to, they really want to move as many units as possible, so it can't be prohibitively expensive.
Yeah.
This is also something we talked about on Friday, or in Friday's episode.
What are you thinking on price now that we've seen it? I know we've kind of circled that wagon a couple of times, but now that we have hard specs, what are you thinking? I'm still sticking with 500. I think
I don't think it can be below 400.
No.
That'd be like bare minimum. Maybe like the Lockhart will be 400 if these specs are for that system. Do we know whether these numbers are going to be for the Lockhart or the Anaconda? Is this just a general for the whole series? And then
gut reaction from me, this sounds like the premium model. This is the Anaconda that they're pushing.
Okay.
At least that's my gut. Also, too, which I've heard, this isn't my idea, but I heard, or I saw that Jason Schreier tweeted, like, his thoughts on it. Like, Xbox Series X, not sure how crazy I feel about the name, but it fits into the mold they're doing. And he was like, I can he was like, I can guess that the Lockhart that's going to come out is going to be Xbox Series S. So that kind of makes sense with it. But no, I agree. I think for what Lockhart's going to push out, I'm thinking 350 for this thing. Or 400 maybe, but at that point, I think it's going to incentivize a lot of people to purchase the Series X if it's going to be. I can't see it being more than $500 for the Series X, just because I think that's just seeing how many times price points have scared people away. Like looking at the PS3 when that launched at what, $600, $700, something like that, and people instantly were like, no, I'm good, especially with how hard that was to develop on it being cell processors. But it's just, I can't imagine that being over $500. Like $500 to me is the sweet spot, because we've seen sales with seen decent sales with the Xbox One X at that price point, and I just can't see it being more than that. But it all comes down to the dollar, I guess. How much money, because they're going to lose money on it already pushing the console out, I would imagine.
Yeah, I think Microsoft has enough economy of scale that they can push down their component costs quite a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't think you could assemble a gaming PC this good this cheaply on the consumer market.
No, definitely.
Like absolutely not. I think 500 is probably the sweet spot. I'm in agreement there.
Mm-hmm. So moving on, as we kind of round out this little, what am I talking about?
Minisode?
Yeah, minisode reactions, I guess, just since we were kind of put in an awkward position of, we put out rumors about something that got announced 2 days later. So, let's, what do you think of, did you play Hellblade 1?
I did not, actually.
I can't recommend that game enough. It's not a very long game. It's more, I would say it was more of an experience, if that makes sense. Like it wasn't overtly difficult or anything like that. It was very much an experiential game or project, I guess, if you want to call it. Definitely can't recommend it enough. It really helps emphasize, PTSD and mental health issues with those who are in battle and experience traumatic events. Like it's a really powerful game, and on Xbox, playing it on Xbox One X, it is absolutely jaw-dropping, the photogrammetry that they use with this, and it's on obviously full display with Hellblade 2 here. What do you think, man? Seeing our first look at what Xbox Series X is going to offer of something running, and granted, an engine can mean a lot of things, but I'll be honest, I was in awe whenever I saw the detail that was put on Senua's like mouth and teeth. Even watching that in 1080p last night when it was live, or even 720 or whatever it was, because I was streaming the event, but seeing it in 4K on my TV this morning when I had a chance, it's just jaw-dropping that we're at this point in gaming where we're having stuff that I even leaned over to my fiance last night and was like, I'll be honest, her skin looks more lifelike than mine at this point. Like holy fuck, man. So what did you think of it? Like, what did you think of your first image of something that is in engine from this console?
It's stunning. I think it's a good way to go for them. This is the first game they're announcing on this. I'm assuming it's going to be a launch title. Mm-hmm. The one, I don't remember a lot of the one's launch titles. You had like Ghosts that was cross.
There was that
generation.
Spartan game.
Rise. Yeah. Son of Rome was probably like the only like original standout launch title on the one. And like, it was good. It looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. The gameplay it left something to be desired, and it was pretty short. I'm hoping that I haven't played the first Senua Sacrifice, so I'm not sure if this is going to be a case of this is a really pretty game that does a good job of showing off for the console, but it's not like something I can sink my teeth into. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering if we're seeing the beginning of a repeat of the one where you had like a handful of games on launch, but nothing really like tentpole came out for quite a while.
No.
Especially because MCC was not very functional on launch.
No. I mean, looking at it here, I have the launch titles pulled up. We had Assassin's Creed Black Flag, Battlefield 4, Call of Duty Ghost, Crimson Dragon, Dead Rising 3, FIFA 14, Fighter Within, Forza 5, Just Dance 2014, Killer Instinct, Lego Marvel Superheroes, Loco Cycle, Madden 25, which was the 25th anniversary of the game, NBA 2K14, NBA Live 14, Need for Speed Rivals, Peggle 2, Power Star Golf, Rise, Son of Rome, Skylanders, Swap Force, Watch Dogs, Zoo Tycoon, and Zumba Fitness. Like, nothing that was really earth-shattering there. There wasn't a really, like you said, a tentpole first-party game that was even looking at it even as a tech demo. There wasn't anything that pushed that console where, like the Breath of the Wild or even Halo CE on the original Xbox, where it's like, this is the reason why you want to buy this console. So
exactly, that's what I'm kind of getting at. I don't think, and I could be wrong, but I don't think a lot of people are going to be swayed to buy a Series X because of Hellblade. If you're on the fence about it, I don't think Hellblade's going to convince you to get an Xbox.
No, but hopefully, I'm sure they're still going to do some kind of reveal event where it's, hey, we're gonna really blow the doors open on this now, and give you pricing, give you Xbox Series S or the Lockhart specs on it. But at least with that, we do have Halo Infinite. That's obviously, I think, something that has much, much, much more general consumer weight namesake to it, on a much broader spectrum. So hopefully that is something that if somebody is interested in an Xbox, that's going to be a much easier decision to have with something at launch, with a big tentpole game like Halo Infinite. So fingers crossed on that everything goes according to plan with that, because if that game delays, then there's a lot bigger issues at hand, I think. So last thing we want to talk on real quick, just going through the press release, the commitment to the backwards compatibility, them basically throwing out there, not only will thousands of your favorite games across all 4 generations, including basically, like, from what I've heard, almost every Xbox One game that's been out there, all of your Xbox One gaming accessories, which is pretty crazy. So, I'm sure we're talking about Xbox One controllers in general, any type of headset, really anything compatible with that, which kind of bucks a lot of, like, normal business, positioning with, like, oh, well, now you bought this, well, if you want to use a headset, you got to buy the one for this system. It's nothing's really transferable, which is crazy to think that in 2019, 2020, when this launches, that all these, like, walls are coming down at once. It's not been like crossplay, where it's been a progressively, we're getting to that point now that, okay, now more things are starting to happen, but it's not an overnight thing where literally Xbox is coming in and being like, all right, forget everything, everything's compatible. This is basically just the next step up. So, just quick thoughts. What are you thinking on the commitment to backwards compatibility, both gaming and accessories?
I think if you're going to start a trend of doing backwards compatibility, they've brought original Xbox games all the way up to the One.
Mm-hmm.
To drop that ball now wouldn't really make any sense. If you've been fighting for backwards for so long, you can't just stop offering it. So I think it's a core piece of functionality that's never going to, like, go out of style. People are always going to want it. It's always going to be in demand.
Mm-hmm. No, definitely. And I'm curious to see how they talk about this commitment to ensuring that games from Xbox Game Studios support cross-generational entitlements, and that your achievements and game saves are shared across devices. I'm curious to see how that kind of pans out, both from a financial and business standpoint, and also a consumer standpoint. I'm curious to kind of put that to the test too, considering I have an Xbox One X. I'm planning on getting an Xbox Series X. Just obviously, 1, for the content of the show, and 2, it looks kick-ass. But and I want to play Halo. So,
Yeah.
So I'm really curious to see how that's going to work, especially with a game as big as Halo Infinite that's going to come out, like a quadruple A-esque game that is cross-generational and is confirmed to come out on Xbox One as well. So I'm curious to see how that's going to handle it and, everything with that. But yeah, that's about it for us. We just want to kind of pop in and, naturally with us, we release something and then, speculating something and it's confirmed literally the day before our show comes out. So had to come in, give our reacts on that, and just kind of put a bow on that. But we will be back, normal schedule. We'll have another episode out this coming Friday. So make sure you're subscribed to all of our podcast platforms that we are on, and also youtube.com/GamePassGamecast. So Adam, where can people find you on them interwebs to talk about Xbox Series X and everything next gen?
Send me all your jokes about the form factor of the Series X and how it looks like the monolith from 2001: A Space Odyssey on Twitter at AC_Marshy. That's at AC_MARSHY.
Nice. And as always, I'm your host, Travis White, aka Travelus, on most internet platforms. You can send me all of your Xbox Series X refrigerator memes over on Twitter at Traveless_, that's TRAVLESS_. You can also find me streaming time to time on twitch.tv/Traveless_, same as Twitter. And if you want to play some video games with me on Xbox Live, you can reach me there, just regular Traveless, TRAVLESS. And with that being said, this has been another little, well, I can't really say it's been another episode, but it's been a check-in. It's been another check-in on the Game Pass Gamecast, your weekly go-to podcast for all things Xbox and Xbox Game Pass, including news, rumors, and conversations around them video games because they're damn cool. New episodes of the show drop each and every Friday morning on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, SoundCloud, and all other major podcast services. So be sure to subscribe to us wherever you get those, and follow us on Twitter at GPGC Podcast to stay up to date with everything regarding the show and video games alike, including Xbox Series X. So with that being said, that's been our little intro. Thank you so much for listening, sharing, and being a part of our growing community. Game on and play them fucking video games, and we will see you next week.